Hey, it's me again, your favorite small-handed cardist, hopefully, but it's been brought to my attention by comments and YouTube analytics that you guys seem to like my videos for small-handed cardists and one-handed cuts, or one-handed cut variations, so that's what today's video is going to be on. So as usual, it's not going to be anything too hard because I also can't do hard moves, but it's basically going to take some of your essential foundational one-handed cuts and combined mechanics from them to get into variations of those cuts. And some of these I already kind of taught in my previous videos, but we're going to go over them again just in case you haven't watched them or you need a refresher, and just so you don't have to click off of this video to go to another video. And I have pretty small hands, so if I can do them, hopefully you can do them. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so first I'm using the Small Wonder V6, which I think has sold out. However, there will be a link in the description for good cards or card recommendations. But anyway, here's the cut I'm going to be going over. So as you can see, it uses a lot of mechanics from other moves like Revolution Cut or Charlier Cut and Trigger. So for those specific moves, I'll leave a link down in the description for, but I'll go over pretty much everything else. So to get started, of course, you need to start in non-dominant hand straddle grip, and you want to lift up maybe a little bit more than half the deck with your thumb, since this move might be harder to do with more than half the deck. So just experiment to see if you want to do half, less than half, or more than half, but I would recommend a little bit more than half. And then from here, you want to do either a Charlier Cut or Revolution Cut, whichever one you think looks nicer or is easier for you to do. But once you get to this position, instead of letting this packet fall straight down, you're going to move your index finger on this long edge, and you might have to push a little because you want to use your thumb now to push this vertical packet on top of your index finger. And again, that might require you to push a little bit in case your index finger doesn't curl quite on top. If it is just like kind of where the joint is on the edge, that should work as well. You just want to have the ability to catch a break between those two packets. Even if it's like just barely fleshy part, it should be able to work, though it might be a little harder to do this next part. So ideally though, you'd want to get as much of your index finger on top as you can to where that nail hits the packet and not just the pad or the tip of your index finger. You want the nail. So that might require you to kind of push into this packet. So that packet lands on top. And then from here, you're going to use your thumb on this long edge to push down and kind of to the side towards your index finger, while your index finger counters that motion and pushes against it to turn that packet, and it's kind of turning at this angle, and then eventually it will fall upwards where the packet is face up and kind of land on your thumb. So here it's really just a balancing game. Drop, push to where it gets this angle. Really, you just want the packet to be face up and at this angle so that your middle finger can come in behind that packet on the back, like so, and that will clip the packet between your index finger and middle finger. Because once you clip that packet right here, you're going to move your thumb out of the way, and then you're going to rotate this packet. It's kind of hard to do slow. and you're gonna basically just get back into that position. But what's happening is you're kind of in this position, and then your middle finger and index finger switch positions. So your index finger goes down while your middle finger goes up. Kind of like that. And you want your pinky there to catch on the bottom. Not like that. That's just something that will take a little bit more practice, I think. And if you do struggle with that part, you can technically skip it because we are basically in the position we just started. So if you don't want to do that little packet twirl, you don't have to. But from here, we're going to do what I just kind of call like a Charlier reset. And basically, you're back in that position where your index finger is between those two packets. And what you're going to do is you're going to push your index finger kind of upwards to where that packet goes against your thumb. And then your index finger slides against the face of that packet. And now you're back in that kind of Charlier position. So, like that by itself. Then with the packet, like that. Basically what's happening is your index finger is sliding behind this top packet using the nail. Kind of like that. And so you can basically do this running like Charlier packet twirl thing. So that's kind of a move on its own. But then to actually change to a different move, what I like to do is I like to go into trigger. So to do that, instead of moving your index finger down against the face, you're going to keep contact right there. And you're going to keep just moving your index finger up, like up from underneath this packet, but also up to where your index finger reaches this short edge and clears that packet. And so you're kind of in this position. And then you can just kind of move your thumb to the side and then contact this short edge to your middle finger. And that kind of gets that packet at that angle to where you can regrip with your thumb. So like that in speed. So from here, now you can do trigger or re-trigger, which I do have videos on. But in short, you kind of want to grab towards the middle with both your thumb and index finger, like so. And then you're going to grip this spawn packet with these three fingers. And you're going to kind of push this packet with these two fingers to the side to where your thumb is over the short edge. And you're going to keep moving until your middle finger can contact by your thumb. So if you're just doing trigger, you can let go with your thumb and grab with your middle finger. And that way you're clipping the packet between your index finger and middle finger. And then you rotate your index finger kind of inwards and behind that packet to close. Or for re-trigger, you want to apply pressure with your middle finger against your index finger. So you're kind of bending the cards in like this. But at the same time, your middle finger is also going to pinch towards your thumb like this. And that should break off a packet. That will take some practice and playing around with pressure. But then you're going to close in the same way. Now again, I do have more in-depth videos, but that was just a quick overview for trigger and re-trigger. But let's say you do re-trigger, then you're left here. And so from here, you can bring your index finger inwards to get that packet back again in Charlier kind of position. But then you want to use your thumb to kind of push down on that packet to where it lands at an angle and your middle finger is there to catch it on the short edge. And then you can regrip with your thumb. This packet is kind of in a scissor cut grip, but instead of with your index finger, it's with your middle finger and thumb. And then you can just kind of do like a scissor cut motion while using your ring finger and pinky finger to kind of push down on this corner to pop that deck up. And then you're going to kind of line up these two edges so that you can use your thumb, and if you need help with your index finger, to just push that packet down into the rest of the deck. So it's just kind of like that. So your thumb and index finger kind of push the packet into the deck like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire cut, and some of these things can be repeated, and of course you can add your own variations. I mean, this entire cut is just variations of other cuts, but of course it can be a good kind of fidget move or combo move, and just something nice to practice. That was a bit messy, but hopefully you get the idea. Alright, so that was the tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you have questions, feel free to comment them down below, or if you have another suggestion, feel free to comment that down below as well, and I'll definitely take a look. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video, but of course more tutorials and videos will be coming soon, and also be sure to check out the giveaway if you haven't already, if it's still open by the time you see this video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.